Greetings, greetings, beautiful, lovely people. That's the Italian. I got an Italian flag here. It's part of my lineage. This is part of my lineage. This is part of my lineage. Greetings to all the goddesses and gods of the universe. You know, all is creating. What are we creating? What are you creating? What are you doing? What's going on? I just want to read a little something. I know I like to pick little things out from stuff, and this is the book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. This is something we'll go over. I just want to go over a couple things real quick. Just how it all is fucking crazy with our perception, with our sixth dimension or fifth dimensional perception, sixth and fifth, and so forth. Knowing that the mental state and everything. But there's a section here, page 348 to 350 something, whatever. It's a section here. It's the hermetic pharmacology, chemistry, and therapeutic part in there. And there's a part in here, the Hermetic theory concerning the causation of disease. So, from a shamanic perspective, according to the Hermetic philosophers, there were 7 primary causes of disease. The first was evil spirits. They were regarded as creatures born of degenerative actions, subsisting on the vital energies of those to whom they attach themselves. Right? Kind of like, you two people together, not really together, just fucking each other, or, one's manipulating the other, or a narcissist, or all this other nonsense. Negative. Anything negative. So anything negative is third dimension. Third or fourth dimension. Because what is third, fourth dimension? The surface. All that looks fucked up and that makes your perception change, and oh my god, the world is fucked up. I want to kill myself. Or I want to become a drug addict. I need to escape. Whatever. The second cause was a derangement of the spiritual nature and the material nature. Right? The psyche freaking out, the physical world. The anger. That's anger. A derangement. What is a deranged, right? Fucking fucked up. That's what it is. It's fucked up. Sick. So now that attaches. Yeah, your psyche's going crazy, but it's not really the psyche. It is the psyche, but it's not the higher self. The higher self don't freak out. The higher self not freaking out. This is sort of like the demons at play, when you're in a state of psychosis or schizophrenic, they can't get. Oh my god, they become fucking bedridden, home-ridden, and shit. They don't leave the house because they get people following them, and they see demons and shit. And this is the derangement. That's the derangement of a spiritual nature. It says it right there. Let's see. The third. Wait a minute. The second was called derangement. Okay, these two failing to coordinate produce mental and physical subnormality. I just explained the demons and all that. So there you go. And so in a shamanic perspective, even from a Reiki perspective, this is the belief system that this type of energy, yes, causes physical ailments, yes. Thoughts, our own mind. So, and science already claims that reality is in the mind anyway. It's all in our mind. It's in here. The third was an unhealthy or abnormal mental attitude. Again, negativity, third dimension, fourth dimension, anger. And what does the third dimension do? The third dimension just keeps us here, anger, in this abnormality, in this fucking, in this unhealthy and abnormality, mental attitude. We pick up the mental attitude from our surroundings, our environment. As we were children, and we all just imagine your past, what you've been through, because you wouldn't be listening to hear if you've been through some fucked up shit. Because you wouldn't even know how to look up what. All the thing you had was spiritual awakening. That's what I would look up. If you knew nothing about shamans, witches, nothing. You just knew that there was some sort of spiritual place awakening. That's what you had to go off of. Anyway, melancholia, morbid emotions. This is just depression, I believe, bipolar. Because remember, this is from 18 or 1900. I don't even know when the hell it was. 18. I don't remember. Here, let's see. This is from whatever. What the fuck year is this here? (2003) is when it was. 1988. Published in 1928. Okay. So melancholia, morbid emotions, excess of feeling, such as passions, lust, greed, and hates, affected the mumia, from which they reacted into the physical body, where they resulted in ulcers, tumors, cancers, fevers, and tuberculosis. The mumia is a form of medicine, type of medicine. Wow, it just so here we go. The ancients viewed the disease germ as a unit of mumia, which had been impregnated with the emanations from evil influences which it had contacted. The mumia is a form of medication. I think it's a plant. It's some sort of medication. Back way back then, it was called. It was some form of a plant material, mumia. I believe it was. I don't even know. Here, let me look up the definition real quick, because I know what it is. It's a form of medicine. Mumia, originally mummy, referred to several different preparations in the history of medicine, from mineral pitch to powdered human mummies. In medieval European medicine, mumia. Right, just a little bit on that. So in other words, germs were minute creatures born out of man's evil thoughts and actions. And when they say, back then they used the word man, it meant everybody, all humanity, humankind. It wasn't just a man, because that's where these things they kind of, again, even back then, these old school philosophers, even the way they talk, the wording they used, you catch from your new perception, like, whoa, well, he was kind of like, they didn't know, they couldn't broad sense their man. I mean, humanity, use the word humanity. I don't know. The fourth cause of disease was what the Orientals called karma. That is, the law of compensation, which demanded that the individual pay in full for their indiscretions and delinquencies of the past. We all know about karma, so a physician had to be very careful how he interfered with the workings of this law, lest he thwart the plan of external justice. Interesting. The fifth cause was the motion and aspects of the heavenly bodies. The stars did not compel the sickness, but rather impelled it. The Hermeticists taught that a strong and wise man ruled his stars, but that a negative, weak person was ruled by them. These 5 causes of disease, all are superphysical in nature. They must be estimated by inductive and deductive reasoning and of careful consideration of the life and temperament of the patient. This is wild. The 6th cause of disease was a misuse of faculty, organ, or function, such as overstraining a member or overtaxing the nerves. Right? Too much sex, too much thinking, right? Eating fucked up. Just our own physical awareness, our own mental state of a being seems to just take control. It's our own minds, our own imagination is really what we all suffer from. The 7th cause was the presence in the system of foreign substances, impurities, or obstructions. Wow. Under this heading must be considered diet, air, sunlight, and the presence of foreign bodies. This list does not include accidental injuries. Such do not belong under the heading of disease. Frequently, they are methods by which the law of a karma expressing itself. According to Hermeticists, disease could be prevented or successfully combated in 7 ways. First, by spells and invocations, in which the physician ordered the evil spirit causing the disease to depart from the patient. Reiki, witchcraft, basically those are the 2. And there's the religious sect too, so you got all that. This procedure was probably based on the biblical account of the man possessed of devilish, whom Jesus healed by commanding the devils to leave the man and enter into the herd of swine. Interesting. The swine flu. Something's going on. So, according to the Hermeticists, disease could be prevented. Sometimes the evil spirits enter the patient at the bidding of someone desiring to injure him. So, if someone intends to hurt us, that evil spirit is already, that negative spirit is already integrated with the bidder. In these cases, the physician commanded the spirits to return to the one who sent them. It is so the intended evilness of just one person comes in contact with you. That's what that means. So they embedded it to you. So the intention alone is to harm someone is all you need. You don't need witchcraft, magic. All you gotta do is think. It's simple. All you say, well, I'm gonna hurt someone. I'm gonna break his arm. That's your intention. That's what you intend to do. So just that alone will already jump to the patient. So it is recorded that in some instances the evil spirits departed through the mouth in the form of clouds of smoke, sometimes from nostrils as flames. It is even averred that the spirits might depart in the form of birds and insects. Sort of like when you clear yourself. When we used to be out in the yard, when I used to go out when it was nice, out in the yard by the tree, with my good dear friend who's no longer with us, which she is, she's still here, but anyway, when I would do clearings into the oak tree and just do my whole ritual, visualize, it's funny because you would see a plane go overboard, and I would just, I'm like, whoa, you see a plane or a bird fly right by you, or a fly land on you or something, some sort of fashion, or some other form of phenomenon like that. So That's how you can visually get rid of shit. You see it, blow it, get rid of it. You hear a car outside or something, somebody closes their door, anything, you see a shadow, you know it's gone. Good stuff. The second method of healing was by vibration. The inharmonies of the bodies were neutralized by chanting spells and intoning the sacred names, or by playing upon musical instruments and singing. Right there. Through light language, through decoding your own mind, through decoding your own stuff, vibrate through righteousness. Find your enlightenment. What makes you keep going? What's gonna make you keep going? You know, just like this whole symbolism, the whole symbolism, society, the whole philosophy of symbolism is what keeps me going. Like what decoding keeps me going. Decode everything. It's fascinating. It's a phenomena that exists throughout everyday moments, and it's like God. You can call it God if you want, but it's this spirit that you just keep following. Wow, it keeps you going. It keeps you right on a right path, because while you're still floating around through third-dimensional reality of work and brainwashing of low vibrational negative energy from marketing and such, you're able to skate through it. Like, fuck you, motherfucker. I'm in the 6th dimension or the 7th dimension. I'm wherever I want. What it is. This is what it is, and we're right here. This don't exist, but I'm here because I gotta get through it. I play the game. And it's funny because we all play the third-dimensional game, but yet we don't play the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. We don't play those dimensional games. Try playing it with yourself. It's very eye-opening. Sometimes articles of various colors were expected to the sight of the sick, or were exposed to the sight of the sick. Color therapy. Saying that's how we move. What gets you going? Like, yeah, it's basically telling you how to be an oracle reader right there. For the ancients recognized, at least in part, the principle of color therapeutics, now in the process of rediscovery. The third was with the aid of talismans, charms, and amulets, crystals, feathers, beards, rattles, drums, lights, pictures. The ancients believed that the planets controlled the functions of the human body, and that by making charms out of different metals, they could combat the malignant influences of the various stars. Thus, a person who is anemic lacks iron. Iron was believed to be under the control of Mars. Therefore, in order to bring the influence of Mars to suffer, around one's neck was hung a talisman made of iron, and bearing upon it a certain secret reputed to have the power of invoking the spirit of Mars. This is all mental stuff. This is all imagination. This is all basic, basic mediumship, or whatever you want to call it, shamanism. If there was too much iron in the system, the patient was subjected to the influence of the talisman composed of the metal corresponding to some planet having an antipathy to Mars. This influence would then offset the Mars energy and thus aid in restoring normality. The fourth method was by the aid of herbs and simples. While they used metal talismans, the majority of ancient physicians did not approve of mineral medicine in any form for internal use. Herbs were their favorite remedies. Like the metals, each herb was assigned to one of the planets. Having diagnosed by the stars the sickness and its cause, the doctors then administered the herbal antidote. The fifth method of healing disease was by prayer. All ancient peoples believed in the compassionate intercession of the deity for the alleviation of human suffering. Paracelsus said that faith would cure all disease. Few persons, however, possess a sufficient degree of faith. I mean, think about that. Like, where do we go and cure all disease in that dimensional place? Right here, in that fifth, sixth dimensional place. Focus. You know, it's fifth, sixth dimension aspects of, you know, they're like intertwined with each other, or they just melt into each other. You know, this is where we, you know, heal all sickness in our bodies. Is in that state of meditation, or whatever. You know, looking into the future, or scrying into a mirror, or you know, looking into a crystal, you know, whatever form of color. You know, these are all. You know, it's wild. Like, you know, the way I like to see it is just believe it. Believe that you're healed. Believe that there's nothing wrong with you. I mean, not in a sense like that, but believe that you know, that you can get rid of dis-ease easily, just by not paying attention to it. And there's all kinds of mental ways to do that. It's on you. It's on the observer or whatever. The sixth method, which was prevention rather than cure, was regulation of the diet and daily habits of life. Basic stuff, man. Basic stuff. Something just floated there. Again, what was, you know, that's the lower self, the lower vibrational patterns of third dimension of eating, you know, yeah, you know, that whole thing. We just did a whole thing on that. So the individual, by avoiding the things which caused illness, remained well. The ancients believed that the health was the normal state of man. Dis-ease was the result of man's disregard of the dictates of nature. In other words, we're not surrendering to what is. You know, and the things that, we're just not surrendering to the nature of anything. We just don't surrender. Surrender to the nature of being yourself, being nothing. So the seventh method was practical medicine, consisting chiefly of bleeding, purging, and similar lines of treatment. These procedures, while useful in moderation, were dangerous in excess. Many useful citizens has died 25 or 50 years before his time as a result of drastic purging or of having all the blood drained out of his body. I mean, that's, you know, that even could be purging. Energetic purge can take you into some sort of breakdown, like a mental breakdown as well. You know, causing the whole mental, you know, purging the wrong way. You know, it causes self-destruction. Paracelsus used all 7 methods of treatment, and even his worst enemies admitted that he accomplished results almost miraculous in character. Near his old estate in Hohenheim, The dew falls very heavily at certain seasons of the year. And Paracelsus discovered that by gathering the dew under certain configurations of the planets, he obtained a water possessing marvelous medicinal virtue, for it had absorbed the properties of the heavenly bodies. Wow. So that's some deep stuff there, some things to look into. Hopefully the keywords and whatever message that was needed to be said got out. It got transmuted in such fashion. So that tells me I need to start looking into the heavenly bodies of planets and what herbs conjure, what planets are associated with our body, like Mars and so forth. So what organs are governed by these planets, right? So that's the process, I believe, that to do anything, to have meaning on anything, you have to have experience it. So this is probably the next phase of sort of personal, more or less the evolution of the body, evolving from toxic thought patterns, or this germs, these negativities. This is what the third dimension is all about, the lower self. So anyway, that's some good stuff to put in the brain, to download in the brain. All right, let's get out of here. All right, I'm going to take a break for now. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for connecting with me. And though you co-partners out there, I know you're there. I know there's hidden authors out there who are like, I'm looking for something. It's sort of like you can't do something without something, because this thing is feeding you. Like, you feed each other, you feed off each other. It's hard to feed off of just this higher self and this lower self. I don't know. It's weird, because there's a lot of more perspectives out there. All right, be fucking real, be unique, be inspirational, and go with the unicorn. Follow the unicorn. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.